Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Zombie Popcorn Radio. Today is February 19th, and this is Jason. And Paul is not with us tonight. We actually have a very, very, very special guest in, I guess, studio house thing. Bob. Say hello, Bob.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So thank you so much for coming on. So this must be your... I don't know if we can talk about this, but this is your Valentine's Day present.
It is. My girlfriend, she hooked this up for me, made it happen. I really appreciate it. Christy, love you a bunch.
Look at that plug. That was good.
Yeah, I know, right?
So awesome.
If it wasn't for her, I would have never gotten off my butt and come over. So.
Well, because we've talked about it many of times having you on the show. I guess twice. Does that count as many? Just because we kind of share indirectly. I mean, because I don't think we've ever officially hung out.
No.
We've seen each other around. We kind of run with the same crowd, but I don't think we've ever hung out. But
and if we're having like parallel interests, we've never intersected.
So this is the beginning right here. You're witnessing it live.
Yeah.
So if we don't get along, you'll see it. If we get along, it just grow bigger.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we're fine. What's that? Miley does not approve of our love fest right now. So, 3D Movie Man in the chat room. Hello, how are you doing? He says, nice t-shirt, Bob.
Thanks. I thought it was apropos. It was my favorite zombie movie.
It is? Ever.
That's my number one.
Why is that?
Because it was the one that started it all. I mean, you know, there were zombie movies before this, but Romero's movie was the one that solidified the zombie genre.
Well, it definitely took it away from the voodoo type.
Yeah. And it had something to say.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. But with that message that it has, apart from the message that Romero had to say in his film, what set it apart from the, like White Zombie or the Revolt of the Zombie type?
Well, for being as old as it is in an old black and white movie, it's still scary. It still holds up. And so I think that's part of why I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still sit at home with the lights out late at night and still scare the pants off yourself.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Would you ever see it in 3D?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Because, they redid... Paramore Labs did a 2D, 3D conversion of The Night of the Living Dead. And they did a screening, if I remember correctly, at a Ramones event in California on the side of a mausoleum and a graveyard. And they, converted it in 3D, so everybody had your 3D glasses on, which was... I wish I would have went. It sounded awesome. But apparently that DVD, or that version, the 3D version, is supposed to come out fairly soon. Just no word on it yet.
I'd just be excited to see it on the big screen again.
Oh, I know. We should totally do something locally and get it in the theater here.
That's definitely doable.
Let's do it.
I mean, because they have been showing, right? They did Groundhog Day and Big Lebowski, Pulp Fiction. This would definitely be a movie or come Halloween.
Yeah, or just anytime.
There'd be an audience for it, I think. Yeah, anytime. I know, right? I don't need an occasion.
Just put it on. Well, it'd be great if they did The Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Did the series for the weekend or for the month, a new zombie movie every weekend.
I could get behind that.
Yeah. What do you think of Return of the Living Dead?
I loved it. I thought that was great.
It's such an awesome
those guys, even the second movie, which was basically like the first movie all over again. It was just those guys running around and screaming and oddly enough, my dad was working in an industry where he happened to meet those two guys that were in Return of the Living Dead, and they were at a convention or something, and he was a fan of the movies too, and he got to talking with them, and he said, one, they were nice guys and very approachable, and two, he said all they talked about was how much fun they had making those movies. He said, like, as actors, it was hardly like work.
Well, you could tell they were having fun, especially in the second one. It was pretty much the same lines.
Yeah. So that's a funny story, but yeah, he said that they were like, yeah, that's the most fun we've ever had.
That's awesome. I think that's what made that movie so good, though. It's just because everybody had such a good time with it.
Yeah.
I love it. Miley doesn't like that movie. which I'm surprised it's such a good movie.
Yeah, well, you can't. You kind of have to look at it as sort of existing outside the genre because the rules are a little different.
Yeah.
And, it's I don't know, making its own way. But I understand the problems, but I think the movie's good enough you can look beyond them.
Yeah. And plus, they had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Yeah, 3D Movie Man in the chat room says that voodoo zombies are just all right.
Yeah, just okay.
Well, they just didn't. It didn't add that. I mean, for me anyway, voodoo zombies just didn't add that element of doomsday to it. It was more of a mind control, more of a something that you would have to call Bob Larson to come exorcise the demons out or something. You know who Bob Larson is, right? Please say Bob. Please say yes.
No, I mean I might. I'm not sure. Who is
every time I've referenced Bob Larson, nobody. Bob Larson was back in when we were children. Back before Tipper Gore did the PMRC and all that, he still does it till this day, but he was popular back then. He was the one that campaigned all that heavy metal was devil music, and he would go around and exorcise heavy metal children to get the demons out of them. And he had a radio show, and him and the lead singer of Obituary or Morbid Angel, it's been so long ago that I don't remember, would fight on air all the time, and he would call up and pretend to be somebody possessed by the demon. The demon was Abaddon the Destroyer, and so it was this ongoing thing. They were trying to possess, get the demon out of him. And during one of the exorcisms that he was doing over the phone, the singer to the death metal band said that he's going to send Grover from Sesame Street to kill Bob Larson. And so what that did is did a huge chain of events, and people would go to conventions where Bob Larson was and give him Grover dolls. And it was just such a fun anyway. There's definitely some good YouTube videos of Bob Larson that you should check out, but don't take him too seriously because
the guy sounds like a complete and utter douche.
It is. I wonder if I can find a video. I'll check that out. But in the meantime, I've invited a local ex-police officer on Zombie Popcorn. I haven't heard back from him. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. He also goes around talking about how movies like Twilight and similar movies like that turn kids on to Satanism and does all this stuff. So he goes around the country giving these talks, and he has pamphlets and booklets that he sells, which is really fun. I'm trying to get him on the show so we can talk to him, since we are by default the basis of the show, the gateway to hell. It would be great for him to talk to us about all that. But anyway, and he's from Virginia Beach. He just hasn't gotten back to me yet. Oh, okay. We got a lot of Bob Larson here. Here we go. It was the lead singer of Deicide. That's who it was that he would get in arguments with, or maybe this is a new one. It was, I forget. I thought it was Morbid Angel or something, but let me pull this up. Let's get past this music.
What distorts my soul beyond my sanity? In the name of Satan, I condemn this image of God. That's the message of a blasphemous band called Deicide. That's what they dish out to their young fans. Instead of offering them hope for a bright future or help when they're hurting, they put blasphemy on trial, which is another form of the word demon. And this was about what he believes is his evil spirit child.
I gotta find another one. This video sucks. I've let you down, listeners, because this makes good radio.
Pull back future time existence of God you're never knowing.
I was hoping I could find a new hero.
Well, I'm gonna try to find a better video. That one just did not work well. It was just, I don't know. But anyway, so Bob Larson. We've kind of killed it now. But he used to go around. He still does. Maybe this is his exorcism video. He goes around and exorcises people and gets the demons out for money, which is pretty awesome. Let's see if that works. Silence.
Between life and death.
Uh-oh. I think that might be good.
Between heaven.
Ooh, silence on the radios. Anyway, it's not working good. So that's Bob Larson. Just check it out.
We have to
do
visit Bob Larson.
Yeah, we'll come back to Bob Larson one day. But if you're dying to know, just go.
Life and death.
Oh wait, now it works.
Between heaven and hell. There's another world. A fourth dimension. Are exorcisms real? The idea of a demon being cast out of a person dates back to biblical times. But are demons really the cause of problems attributed to demons? Or is it mental illness? Bob Larson, author of Larson's Book of Spiritual Warfare, claims to have conducted more than 10,000 exorcisms over 30 years. Next, watch as Larson conducts an exorcism on a young lady who feels she was gripped by a demon of anger over being abused as a small child. Next, on stories of the supernatural.
The curses are broken. You're going to go. And I'm going to take this sword. I'm going to shove it right through you. Well, demons are real. I meet them basically every day of my life. It's very normal to me. It was very normal to Christ. It's just not real normal to most people in the secular world and not even the church world. What I was. What you, Satan. What you get out of this woman's life. Demons, as far as my theological understanding is concerned, and that's based upon Christian orthodoxy, are fallen angels. They rebelled with Lucifer in the initial insurrection against God, way back at the beginning of time. And now they, as disembodied spirits, dwell here on earth, looking for human bodies to bring about their evil will.
So that's all we're going to go on that. But you know, he just believes that there are spirits out there, demons, that are looking for human bodies to bring on their evil will onto people, and that's what I grew up. Texas was really big into this. They embraced Bob Larson and they embraced Tipper Gore and the PMRC and all that, to the extent that you could not wear black in school. We had one-way hallways because they had to put order in our life and all that, and it was very fundamentally Christian founded and kind of crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like a big bucket of crazy.
With extra gravy. But yeah. So that's Bob Larson. I don't know how we got on that topic. But yeah, maybe it's the drinks. You never know. But I want to talk real quick. Today was the last day of the Zombie Popcorn t-shirt giveaway. We gave away one t-shirt every day for 2 weeks, which was awesome. It was sponsored by Crazy Dog T-Shirts, who did the design, or not the design, but who printed our Zombie Popcorn T-shirts. And the contest and everybody, it was a success. Everybody had a great time. I enjoyed talking to everybody who entered. So I guess to keep everything going, I'm going to, tonight after the radio show, I'm going to drop down the prices of the T-shirts if you want to buy one, if you didn't win one. So just go to zombiepopcorn.com, click on the merchandise page, and I think I'm going to drop it down to maybe 15, maybe 12. I don't know. I haven't decided. I have to crunch some numbers. But anyway, tonight after the show, go check it out. It'll be on there. That's my self-promotion on that. So, yay. So, you heard of the new game, Zombie Island, right? Or Dead Island, I'm sorry. The trailer that came out.
I almost shed a tear when that trailer was over.
It's such an awesome trailer. And what's so funny is the trailer for it has only been out for like 3 or 4 days now, and it's grabbed the attention of everyone. I mean, from gamers to non-gamers to zombie lovers to everything. I wrote about it on Zombie Popcorn. You can go check it out. It's in one of the featured banners, and it has the trailer on there. But what makes this story even better, or even more interesting at least, is that yesterday, Universal Studios, the guy who did the remake of Wolfman, bought the rights to Dead Island. Bought the movie rights, should I say, to Dead Island. No word on what he plans on doing with it, but obviously to make a movie. But I'm really excited because if it's anything, if the movie's a fraction of how good the trailer to the game is, it's going to be an awesome movie.
That's the best 3 minutes I've seen all week of anything. Movie, TV.
It is amazing. I'm going to take a few seconds, actually 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 8 seconds to play the trailer. If you haven't seen it, you definitely have to check this out because Dead Island is... I don't know why we're bragging, or not bragging, but promoting this so much. We haven't even seen gameplay, but it's amazing because it's going to be a first-person shooter type action game. And they said it's not going to... I guess you couldn't call it a shooter because it's going to be based on a lot of hand-to-hand melee fighting on there.
Did you say character development was going to be a lot of it too?
Yeah, character development. It's going to have the RPG aspect of it. It's going to have 4-player co-op mode.
And kids zombies.
Yeah, it's going to...
Little kids as zombies, my favorite thing.
I know, so you can kick them. That's the best thing to do to kids, is kicking. But anyway, here's the trailer for Dead Island.
Peggy 18.
that's Dead Island. For the listeners, just go to zombiepopcorn.com. You can actually see the trailer on that. 'Cause I'm sure the music and the screams and the gore and the hacking and the slashing probably just painted really graphic images in your skull, and you'll sleep well tonight. But definitely go check it out. I think it's going to be an awesome game.
Well, I think it's interesting in that, like, one, it's a great trailer.
Yeah.
Which I thought was awesome. I love the structure of it. I mean, it was very cool. It looked great. It looks like $1 million. I hope the game is good. But I think that what makes it really interesting is that in 3 days it gets optioned as a movie.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, it says a lot of things. Not all of which I think are good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you don't think it's good? Why don't you think it'd be good?
Well, I just think it's. I think it's good. That sounds like a great concept for a zombie film, but it just shows sort of how kind of creatively bankrupt Hollywood can be now.
Yeah. Which is definitely a conversation that we talk about a lot on this show. Cause
But it also does show that, come on, man, House of the Dead, worst movie ever.
Yeah.
Right? And that was a video game.
Yeah.
That was a long-established video game. And then it was made into a movie, and everybody said, "Oh, video games to movies, that will never work." That was an idea that was,
But really,
it
what
didn't help that the movie sucked.
Yeah.
But everybody said that it would never cross over. You couldn't make a video game into a movie. But now video games are becoming more and more cinematic, and that line between video games and movies is going to be increasingly blurred.
Yeah. But still, I haven't seen a good video game to movie. Even with the Resident Evil series. Even though the 3D Afterlife I loved, and just because I'm a 3D geek, but it's still not that good of a movie. I mean, Doom, which I love playing Doom from... It was horrible, yeah. Silent Hill, loved the game, hated the movie.
I thought that was... I liked the game a lot. I thought the movie was close.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that was the closest one yet, because they got a lot right. They did a lot wrong, but I think that there were elements of Silent Hill that were right. I thought the costuming was great.
Yeah.
The whatever those nurses monsters were.
Oh, yeah.
They looked awesome.
Well, the visuals, it was great, but it just didn't have that essence that what made the game good. In terms of just like, oh my God, freaking out.
Well, but I think that's because you get all these guys in Hollywood, and they are not the creative types. They are lawyers and accountants, and they're and the guy making that movie, he's got a great story. He's got everything's already laid out. It's already done. He's like all you have to do is film it. And then the producers and the lawyers come along with notes that says, well, it tested this way in Ohio, so you need to make this change.
Yeah, they try to
Why make change? You just stick with what works.
If you're sitting there liking it and you're going, that kicks ass, then you should keep it. 3D Movie Man in the chat room says Tron. But what came first? Was it the movie or the game?
I think the movie came first, but the games were probably close on its heels. I remember playing the games when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I think the movie was first, but I'm sure the games were really quickly thereafter.
And plus, back then with the games, either way, there's not much you can do in terms of graphics and storyline with the game. You either ride the light cycle, you drive the tank, you shoot the spiders.
Yeah, but but in that regard, you could say like maybe Tron was the closest. Like, in its day, Tron was trying to be as cinematic as it possibly could.
Yeah.
Because the Tron game wasn't just one game, ride the light cycles or throw in the disc. It was like 4 or something, wasn't it?
There were, just in that one game, there was 4 options of the tanks, the bikes.
Yeah, the tanks too.
The spiders, and then the cone. The cone was the spider. But anyway. And then they had a couple spin-offs where it was just the disc game where you would throw the disc. And... But I don't know.
That's an interesting thought, right? Tron. I love Tron.
I do. Awesome. Did you see the 3D? Did you see?
I did. I loved it.
It was so awesome. I loved everything about it. But
I was really disappointed that the critics really panned Tron Legacy, and I thought it was great. I don't know what movie they saw.
I don't either. I thought the 3D was great. I thought the storyline was great. The co-host Paul. he said he didn't like the part about Tron where the final battle where Tron actually crossed over sides. He said it was just too quick. It was like he just like made eye contact with Jeff Bridges, and then he's like, wait, I'm on the wrong side, and that was it. And he said he was upset about that. But
so, do you know that there's work on a third Tron film going forward?
Yes.
They filmed additional sequences of Cora and what was the kid's name? Sam?
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges' son, Sam.
Yeah.
They filmed some sequences of them in the real world outside of the game grid that will be released. It'll be a trailer that'll be on the Tron DVD,
which they're coming out, I think, this week. There's 4 different ones. We talked about it last week about all the different versions of Tron. What was that?
I can't wait.
I know, it's good. It's awesome.
I really liked it.
That's definitely the Blu-ray 3D of that is definitely something you'd have to buy on it. And they have a deluxe package where you can get the data disc that comes with the CDs or the DVDs, which is awesome.
I've never looked at a Frisbee the same way again.
I know. I'm the same way. Ever since Tron, I'd be like, yeah. And every time I would throw a Frisbee, that's what I would be thinking.
Yep.
No, Tron is by far. Miley doesn't like Tron either. She said it puts her to sleep.
It's terrible.
Horrible. No. But no, I do. For my birthday, Paul bought me a Tron T-shirt. I love Tron.
See here I'm nerd now. Did you see Adidas has a whole line of athletic clothes for kids that is Tron inspired? So it's like a black track jacket with like a 3 neon orange stripes going down.
Awesome.
All the stripes on the chest are like represent the costumes that were in Tron. It looked great, man. It's really cool.
Awesome. Have you seen the mouse and the keyboard, the Tron mouse and keyboard and the mouse pad? Oh my god, we talked about it a couple of weeks back actually when Tron Legacy came out. The keyboard lights up and it has the the glowing lights design, the very rigid edge, and the mouse lights up. It looks like a light bike, a light cycle.
Hey, right on. And
the mouse pad, that when you move the mouse on the mouse pad, it leaves light tracers. Like it's leaving. It's so awesome. Nice. I love it. It's expensive as fuck though, but I totally want it. So. Yeah, I'm excited about Tron coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Let me see. I'm gonna try to pull up the video just so you can see it, because you get this is it lighting up.
Is it the keyboard and mouse?
The keyboard and mouse of Tron. What are you doing? There we go. But yeah, it's so awesome.
I even dig the whole like concept in Tron with the complexity arising out of nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I dig that kind of stuff.
It's awesome. But see, as you can see, it lights up and it's all synced together and stuff. But the mouse pad, which is pretty fucking awesome because it leaves the light trail, the tracers behind the mouse as you move it. And the only thing that hasn't really projected me to just go ahead and buy it and just break down and geek out on it is I don't move my mouse that much. I mean, see, look at that.
That's kind of cool.
It is totally cool, but who moves their mouse that much? I mean, I would if I had this, but
yeah. What a completely awesome yet useless feature.
Totally. And it's totally geared for people like us, where we're just like, I want that.
Yeah. They had me at laser.
Yeah. 3D Movie Man says that he has Uber 3D nerd news, and Vincent Price classic The Mad Magician is available in the PlayStation Store and PS3 for first time available. Sweet. But it's in 3D. Or is that what you're saying? I hope so, because that'd be awesome. But anyway, let me know, 3D Movie Man. But yeah, no, Tron definitely. What'd you think of Avatar? Did you see Avatar?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think I liked it for the technical achievements of it. I'm not nearly as big a fan of 3D as you are. Like, I like it. and I think used in the right way, it adds a lot of depth to a movie. Like, no pun intended. And I mean, come on, man, Avatar, it was like Dune meets Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
And sure, it was a story that we'd all heard before, but it was a story that was done really well.
It was done really well.
And, it's a formula that works, and technically, it was top notch.
The visuals were phenomenal, even if it wasn't in 3D. The visuals to it was just great.
Yeah, and I like that. I appreciate when filmmakers take the time to get their science right. Like they took into account things in the movie, like it was a moon around a gas giant, so it's going to have long periods of day and long periods of night. So it would make sense that whatever biology evolved there would be adapted for night, hence the bioluminescence.
Yeah.
And since it was a smaller planet than Earth, the gravity would be less. So, whatever biology evolved there would tend to be bigger. I mean, like, we're limited. We're the size we are because of the gravity of the planet we live on.
Yeah.
And I just think that Cameron took the extra steps to get that kind of level of detail in Avatar, and it shows. And I like that's that's why I liked it.
And that's why Cameron is a step away from most other directors, because he does take that time. He does take that effort to put that emotion and that energy and that thought into his projects.
So maybe a little detail that you might not have noticed about Avatar, but all of the animals on Avatar, they had 4 eyes, right?
Yeah.
And they each have 4 eyes. One set of eyes was for day, and the other set of eyes was for night. It saw things, and that was when they made the animals, except the Na'vi, all of the animals that you see in Avatar, they all have 2 sets of eyes. And the second smaller set, and it was what he told the production team, is so that they can see in ultraviolet, so they can see at night.
That's awesome.
Like, who thinks of that?
Nerds.
Yeah.
Just kidding. What do you think about him teaming up with Del Toro to do the H.P. Lovecraft's and the Mountains of Madness?
I did not know that Cameron was involved. I knew Del Toro was doing it. That's like Del Toro's dream project.
He's directing it, but Cameron is producing it. He is working with them on the script to make sure. There was an interview not too long ago where Cameron was talking about, or actually Del Toro was talking about Cameron working with him, and he said that he's very happy to have him on board because he said he wrote the script or got the script, and they were both reviewing it. Cameron went to Del Toro and said, "Well, you should do it this way. Look at and he said that he would have never looked at it at that angle, and it makes the story even more, open up more than he could ever imagine having Cameron on there. So it's going to be an awesome movie, I think.
I think if Del Toro has, Del Toro is a good guy, and I really like all of his movies that he's done. And I don't think Cameron would be the type of producer that, handcuffs Del Toro and says it has to be done this way.
Yeah.
I'm sure Del Toro is going to have free reign, and having Cameron on board, that can only be good because now Del Toro has all the money he needs to do whatever it is he thinks is necessary.
And any equipment that he wants made that he thinks he's going to improve the film will get done.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and if it's not available, Cameron will have somebody develop it or invent it. They'll do it from the ground up.
Yeah, and Cameron.
That's great.
Yeah, Cameron is the modern day George Lucas in terms of that aspect of it, in terms of creating new things to progress technology. Just like the interview that they were talking about, Cameron is shooting to have theaters upgrade so they can actually shoot in 60 frames per second to 120 frames per second, I think it was, because he feels that the reason people are not enjoying 3D as much as they are now is because they're not getting the full frame rate. They're getting the half of the frame rate that they're doing. So he's kicking it up so he can do his next film at the highest frame rate that's possible right now, and that he's creating the technology for it. And wants the theaters to upgrade their equipment so people can enjoy it, even if it's not in 3D, just to give the realism to the images that people are seeing, which I think is awesome. And I think movie theaters owe it to us to do that. We pay shitloads of money to go to see the movies, And if you eat popcorn, candy, or drinks, you're paying double that. They owe it to the viewing public to upgrade when there's new technology instead of just hoarding all the money just to keep showing films. That's my thought.
I'm with you.
So, yeah. 3D Movie Man in the chat room says, yeah, all those, the Vincent Price movie is going to be in 3D. They have the Three Stooges 3D shorts that are also in 3D for 3D TVs, of course, which I have. I'll let you borrow them because they'll work with that thing we were talking about. The Three Stooges 3D shorts, which they're fun. I mean, because it's totally gimmick.
No Larry and who?
Actually, you know what? I don't remember. I haven't seen.
There's a litmus test for Stooges, man. It's either Curly or Shemp.
Yeah, I know, but I've never been a Stooges fan. I only have it because it's in 3D.
All right.
Sorry, I let you down, didn't I?
I don't know.
You know, I'm just. But yeah, no, it's awesome. We were talking about video games earlier. You want to talk about City of Heroes?
Oh God, I am a huge City of Heroes geek. I've been playing almost since launch. I took a break from it to try out World of Warcraft for a while, which I didn't like, and so I don't know. I could sing the praises of City of Heroes all day. I think it's a lot of fun game. And as far as MMOs games go, I'm into comic books and so having said that, I haven't tried DC Universe Online yet, although I'm thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the trailer for it?
Yeah, with Superman.
Oh my God! Let me pull that up. Great. I just watching the trailer. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Oh my God!
Not as good as Dead Island, but still.
But
and it's really long too, right?
It's 6 minutes.
And I was surprised at how long it was.
But the gameplay, have you seen the gameplay for it?
No. And you know, they always flash that message on there, too, not actual gameplay. Yeah. Those are just the cinematics. The
gameplay looks like an enhanced City of Heroes, like a smoother graphic of City of Heroes. Which I took the free trial of City of Heroes and played with you a couple nights on it. I had fun with it. I had fun. I think my favorite part was the character creation on it.
Yeah, that's pretty versatile. Like you could do anything.
Yeah,
you could. And you know what's funny, when the game first launched, like you'd log in and it was inevitable that you'd see, like, you know, you'd run into a Wolverine, a Hulk, or a Superman, you know, scooting around, and the devs had to crack down on, like, if you had the name of a registered or like a trademark character, or you had the likeness of a trademark character, they would make you change.
Oh, really? Well, I guess, I mean, they don't want to get sued. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was fun. My only problem with it wasn't, maybe it was the times that I played it. I got up to level 13 before my free trial expired. I just never had anybody to play with other than you.
Yeah, well...
So I was doing all these missions by myself, which just, if you're not with anybody, it's just button clicking.
Yeah, sometimes the soloist is, you know, you don't have any choice. You're gonna go solo because sometimes there's just nobody around. But,
yeah.
But having said that, the community is such that it's very easy to sort of make friends online.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get in. You know, they call it a super group, and the community is very open. It's very easy to get into. It's just, the thing is, when you have the trial account, you can't send out any active tells. You can't communicate outwardly.
Oh, is that what my problem was?
Yeah, you're really restricted with the trial account.
Well, it's like that portal we tried to walk through. I could be like, "Come with me," and you jump through the wall, and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But you know, and the reason they did that too is because for the longest time, City of Heroes was free of the spammers that are selling the in-game currency, which you're not supposed to do anyway. And then when they started the trial accounts, when the trial accounts first started, they could do everything a regular account could do just for a limited amount of time, and you would get you would get spammed by, I don't know, 15 dudes in China. Just,
He's like...
I don't know, so they had to put those limitations on.
Well, that's just fine. I don't have a problem with the limitations. I had fun playing the game. I played it a lot. Pretty much any free moment that I had, I logged in on it. I even tried to play it on the show one night. But the problem is that the screen grab technology thing would not pick up the actual gameplay. So it was a blank screen when I was trying it. You just had the sounds.
I remember when we got talking about it, we mentioned the Champions online game, which is like the other superhero game. Yeah. And from what I understand, that's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I heard. When I announced on Facebook that I was doing the City of Heroes Trial Edition, I got a lot of messages from people going, "No, you should just go to the other. Go to Champions. It's so much better. You can do all this stuff." And I was like, "No, I'm just trying this out. I'm having fun with it." And then now, it's gone.
I think Champions died. But I'd heard from some people that had played it, and they didn't like it very well. They didn't say it was... I mean, they said it was not very good. But I'm curious as to how the gameplay goes for DC Universe Online.
Well, let's play the DC Universe trailer, and then while that's playing, once it goes, I'll pull up the gameplay on that, and we can look at it. But here is the DC Universe Online cinematic trailer. This debuted in Comic-Con 2010. It's actually awesome, so hope you enjoy it.
My greatest triumph was at hand. The final campaign in my long war against Superman. While his powers were drained from constant battle, I struck, luring him from his self-imposed exile. But my obsession had blinded me to the real threat, to Earth's true enemy.
Someone your own size! Cyborg, concentrate fire on Luthor while I call down some artillery. Deathstroke, time for you to join the party.
Lots of murdering to do. Lose something?
Greetings, sister. Nobody kills the Bat but me!
live to live! Diana. Beaten by a mere man. No. You've lost everything. No. I beat you. Lex Luthor!
Brainiac had returned. For years, he'd been stealing the powers of Earth's protectors, but we were too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see the danger. With you three dead, Brainiac quickly eliminated the remaining heroes. The lucky ones died fighting. Finally, I alone survived, a rat in the walls of the Brainiac construct. I have traveled through time to warn you. This is my past, but your future. And it means the end of humanity, so together, we must change it.
What have you done, Luthor?
Given you a fighting chance.
He's lying. It's some kind of trap. Why should we trust you?
Because if you don't, Earth is doomed.
DC Universe Online. So it's available to play.
Sony.
Yeah, I think it's live now.
Yeah, the trailer looks awesome. And if you bought the game solely on that trailer,
I would understand.
Yeah, me too. Because it's what you want movies and everything in your life to be. Because it's just so well done, has everything that you possibly would want in a game and a movie. But
their website's pretty good too. They have like all these video segments of the developers talking about like mission content and end game raids and character development. They've really put a lot of work into it. I just hope the gameplay is as good as the trailer.
Well, I'm queuing up the gameplay now, so here's what it looks. I mean, it looks like an enhanced City of Heroes / World of Warcraft, really. Well, I'll let you be the judge. Here it is. We can talk about it. I love the city layout on this, like that. I like the tall, tight skyscrapers, which apparently there's an upgrade to City of Heroes, a new cityscape coming out.
Well, they introduced the Going Rogue expansion, which opened up a new city zone.
Oh, okay.
3 new city zones. But one of the things that DC Universe does is the environment is supposed to be interactive. Like if you have super strength, you can pick up a car and throw it.
Well, there you saw that the street had, it's messed up where whatever has happened. And in a second you'll see a video of where somebody picks up the street and throws it.
But you don't actually like the street underneath his feet doesn't show
that
he picked up a chunk of it.
Yeah.
He just sort of like picks up a chunk from anywhere and then it gets thrown.
I think it's thrown, yeah. I mean, the battle scenes are minus the magic and the rays and whatever else. It's pretty similar to any other MMORPG type.
Sony.
Sony. free advertisement there. But I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
But you didn't like.
Well, you know the thing is too, right? I have like another friend of mine. He wants me to get into playing Eve online, which is like another MMO where you drive around spaceships and it's like all sci-fi oriented. But I'm kind of I like to joke I'm MMO nogamous.
You only want one MMO?
Yeah, it's only one at a time. I can only handle one at a time.
Well, with that said, we talked about this last week too, but I want to bring it up with you since you do like at least one MMO. The co-creator of World of Warcraft has announced that he's doing a zombie MMO. And if I can quote him, he says, "We wanted to build a game around the central question of what you would do in the zombie apocalypse. We've had all types of experience of going to great zombie movies, coming out with our friends, grabbing a beer, and, just sit around talking about your personal strategy, what your personal strategy is. Would you go to a helicopter? Would you try to get a boat? Would you get in a car and drive to some remote farm somewhere? Everybody has their own idea how they survive. And we thought it would be fun to build a game around that." And that's the premise of the zombie MMO that he's coming out with. What do you think of that?
I would give it a try. I mean, I would definitely. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's like hey, zombies. You've got ready-made bad guys already hanging out, and one of the things that I didn't like about World of Warcraft is that I felt that it was just a big loot grab. And resources were so abundant that you could spend all day getting I don't know, cloth. And but that would be interesting in a zombie type game where resources are really limited and things like food and water matter.
And that's what he says, that one of the key aspects of the game is that you're not only fighting zombies. He goes, that is fun, and that is definitely a part of the game, but that's done so many other times, and it's not the main focus of the game. You're actually fighting to find food. You're actually fighting to find places to hide, safe havens, water, weapons, everything else. He said that the weapons are not going to be, you're going to have your guns and stuff, but depending on what part of the country or city or whatever you're not going to have, like if you're out in the middle of the country on a farm, you're not going to have access to a gun shop. You're not going to have massive guns, so you're going to have to create your own weapons. You're going to have to find your own stuff, and with food and everything else is it's going to be a fight for that, which I think is great, because I mean, one of the things that we get emails a lot and comments a lot on Zombie Popcorn is are people who are actually in survivalist groups that embrace the zombie, mythology. And actually, there are actually people across the country that train people how to survive a zombie apocalypse. That's their platform, their springboard, but it's just really how to survive in case of, whatever disaster happens, and they just use zombies for fun. And I think the game would be a good way of doing that too. Plus, it's fun. I mean, who hasn't sat around, drinking or whatever, just talking about what would you do during a zombie apocalypse? I mean, survive Norfolk.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would read World War Z again from cover to cover, because there's a lot of good info there, and not go to an island. That would be, because we know that doesn't work.
We've seen that firsthand tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was one of the things that I really liked about that. You talk about like what is your zombie apocalypse plan? Was the stories that get told in World War Z, which you guys have talked about that book, right?
Yeah, we actually have it. You can get the audio book and the actual paperback on Zombie Popcorn Book Club.
Okay, that is a great book, man. That is really a cool book, and But what I like about it is that the stories are told such that like there's some things that worked and some things that didn't work, and and humanity's on this learning curve, and it was really cool, right? The first battles when they're shooting at the zombies with automatic weapons, of course that doesn't work. I mean, I could have told you that,
but it's fun.
Until you get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
and then did they develop some kind of like not a bayonet, not a club, but like a sword with a weighty handle on it or some kind of truncheon that they gave the guys on the front lines to fight zombies. So you didn't have to use a gun. You just clubbed them over the head with this thing.
Smash the brains and.
Man, that was great. Get one of those.
There's so much. Totally. There was something you mentioned in an email, since we're talking about zombie apocalypse and survival, that you said that there was a study done.
Oh yeah. That was a guy. His name is. I had it on my phone. His name was Robert Smith, and he is a professor.
From The Cure?
Huh?
From The Cure?
No, different Robert Smith. But this guy is probably like got more professorial or collegiate, whatever. So he was the lead researcher, and his name is Robert Smith, and he was the School of Mathematics and Statistics, Carleton University, which is in Ottawa, Canada. And he published a paper in a journal called Infectious Disease Modeling Research Progress. And so, when you have things like swine flu and H1N1 and like real diseases that are bothering people, or modern problems, they want to model the spread of these pandemics to study like how they spread, and so this guy's group, they had the idea that they were like, all right, we're going to build a mathematical model to show how a disease spreads. And the model that they used, they wanted to keep it simple. So right, their requirements were the disease is highly transmissible, right? So you come into contact with the other person, you're probably going to get the disease. And to make their model simple, another thing was there's no cure, right? And you're not going to survive this disease. So they made these parameters to keep their model simple, and I guess somebody in the group was like, dude, this is zombies, man. This is and they were like, okay, so they went with that. And so what they did is they did some, you can, I don't know, maybe I can provide you the link. You can look at the paper. The math is a little, I don't know if you're a math guy or not, but it's not too hard to follow. But in their math, they show the progression of a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. And what's funny, the conclusions they have are, and they change the math around to like look at different outcomes, but the conclusions are like quarantine, not going to work. Even if you had a cure, not going to work. The only thing you can do is fight it aggressively, like kill all of the zombies that exist. Like you can't quarantine it, you can't contain it, you can't treat it. All you can do is wipe it out as aggressively as you possibly can. And in their paper, they show sort of like charts and graphs, and it follows this really steep curve. Like, man, it happens fast. I think the guy said like, if it were to happen in New York City, wiped out in 3 days.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah. So I thought that was really funny, and then when they did that Survive Norfolk thing in October, I got to play in that, and man, I got killed quick. Like I was done in like 3 minutes.
Wow. Look, I didn't run them that night, so
it was, and that whole thing was like an exercise in geometric progression. I mean, it just got and they started out ostensibly. They started out with 15 zombies. Right, they were going to have 1,500 people participate. Started at 8, and they started with 15 zombies. And you know what's funny? The guy that won, the zombie that won, because they had a prize for most kills, right? 1,500 people. You start out with 15 zombies. That's less than 1%. Yeah. And you'd have thought that the guy who was like the badass zombie that turned in the most armbands that won the award for most kills. I was like just sort of like thinking about the number in my head would be like, I don't know, man, 250, 200, something like that. 45.
Really?
That's all he got. but that's
it's just because it spreads.
Right. It's a geometric progression. One guy gets 2 guys, and those 2 guys get 2 guys, and those 2 guys get 2 guys, and man, fast. And everybody that ran it started at 8, and some people that I know that were, I guess, better at hiding than I was. They said about 9:30 they were trying to get to the last checkpoint, and it was just a wall of zombies. There was no humans around. Like they were all dead.
That's like the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. So it's like, I mean, I guess putting it into real world terms, it's kind of like what people say about the overpopulation of not spay neutering your pets. It just keeps growing, but this is more.
Takes a little longer.
Yeah, well, it definitely takes a little longer. But I'm just saying, it's just like when you see the progression of that, like this kitten, gives out 2, 3, whatever, and then the same idea. I'm just trying to relate it to charts that people see.
Right. That's a. I'm pretty sure that's a geometric progression.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's funny.
It happened so fast too.
Yeah,
and
which is the fact that you said that in Manhattan it'd be so quick that it'd be wiped out.
Yeah. So basically, like the point of this guy's paper, his conclusion at the end was you have anything that aggressive, that transmissive, you gotta take care of it fast, or else it's over.
Return of the Living Dead had the right point with it. Just nuke the area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess they did have something right on that. They're just like, fuck it, just nuke it. No, that's amazing. I mean, just to see it. I mean, 45 people for that zombie to win. It doesn't seem like. I mean, if you were there, which we were, but just to give the listeners an idea, when the survivors, the humans, because the way it's set up is we talked about it before, is 5 minutes before the zombies were released. The humans or the survivors took off. They actually got a head start, a good 5-minute head start.
5-minute head start.
To get the hell out of there. And then the 15 zombies 5 minutes later were released. And it wasn't even an hour before there was just so many people just already just kind of walking around with their zombie bands on there. It didn't take long. It was just
fast. Like I said, I lasted 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
That's insane.
And I ran too. I could run. Like I was trying to get away. Yeah. I got cornered by 2 zombies working together.
Damn those zombies.
I know, right? They were not supposed to do that.
But according to Romero, they do progress. They do evolve in their way of thinking.
Yeah.
They could, they could use guns or use teamwork. So you never know.
Yeah, these guys use teamwork on me.
Bastards.
Bitches.
If they wasn't already dead, you'd kill them.
No. And I made a lousy zombie too. I tagged my 2 guys and then went and drank beer.
Well, no, I think that would be the appropriate zombie because even with the Romero films, is that zombies tend to follow their daily routine.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's why they returned to the mall, and that's why...
I was going to just go and drink beer, but then I was like, I'm under some kind of zombie obligation.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, that's what you have to do. A couple of weeks ago, we interviewed the director and one of the actors from the web series, Gary's Garden. And their first episode hit the web on Valentine's Day, and we actually have the episode up on Zombie Popcorn now if you want to go check it out, or you can go to rottingtoil.com. We will have them back on the show after the next episode. Monday, day after tomorrow, they'll have a new show up on their site, and we'll have it on Zombie Popcorn, and then we'll have them back on to talk about it. It's actually a 4-part short web episode about a guy who decides to get a green thumb and to grow a garden to impress his girlfriend. But things kind of go awry when the Latter-day Saints arrive at his door, and he ends up burying them. So go check it out at rottingtoil.com or zombiepopcorn.com. Check out episode 1, Pot Rot. It's actually really good. Right. So, there is a 3D movie that's coming out that I'm excited to see just because it's so fucking ridiculous. It is beyond anything. I didn't even know how to describe it. But
Do you think it'll be so bad it's good?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Okay, and this is coming from a guy who went, when given the choice to see the new Rambo or the 3D Hannah Montana movie, went to go see Hannah Montana because it was in 3D. And this movie that's coming out is just totally, I think, is going to be the most epic mind suck in the world. So, before I announce what the film is, let me give you their promo wording, verbiage to it. So it says, let me see if I can give it justice. Millions of people around the world have been enchanted by Lord of the Dance. Since its premiere in 1996, it has been captivating audience and critics around the globe and has grossed over $1 billion worldwide. However, no one has ever had the opportunity to experience the magic, the excitement, and the passion by being a part of the performance until now. When Lord of the Dance is released in 3D for a limited engagement on March 17th. Now, here's the trailer.
Can't wait.
It's going to be awesome. Here's the trailer.
This March, for 1 week only, experience the passion. Immerse yourself in the magic and witness the worldwide phenomenon like never before in astonishing 3D.
Tonight, this is going to be the greatest show of my life.
Let's dance!
Michael Flatley, the Lord of the Dance 3D motion picture event. You haven't really seen it until you see it like this. Hurry before the magic disappears.
The magic. 1 week only, mid-March 2011. Actually, March 17th. So that's... What do you think? You going to go with us and see that?
Yeah.
Was that?
That looks awful. That looks horrible.
It really does.
Horrible. I had to sit through Riverdance once, and that was.
But you saw the live performance,
right? And that was even worse.
What? Apparently, you have not experienced what it's like.
Oh God.
Until.
I think so.
It's going to be in 3D. I love your comment during the trailer. You're like, now his package is going to be. I mean, I saw Circus du Soleil in 3D when I lived in Texas, which was really awkward because it was a movie. Huh?
Which Cirque du Soleil show was it?
It wasn't a show. They actually made a movie, and it was like all this surrealistic background where they were just doing, performances out in the field by water fountains, waterfalls, and stuff like that. But it was at IMAX 3D. It was only released in IMAX 3D. And you were super close where you could see the beads of sweat coming off of their bodies. And so when they did the splits and they were inverted and kicked their legs and their bulging packages, and it was on your nose. It was very, very uncomfortable. You could watch the people in the crowd kind of going, whoa, hey.
Backing up from it.
So this has got to be awesome.
I don't know. I think the whole Lord of the Dance thing is silly.
My wife is in the other room, but I'm going to have to agree.
Hey, look, man. You're going to take a bullet for the team, and I admire you for that. Let me know how it is.
Oh, you're going with?
Yeah.
Can you get Griffin to go?
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't tell Christy. Do not sell her on that.
3D Movie Man said his eyes are bleeding now because of that trailer. You should definitely go see a 3D movie, man. You should. We all should just go together.
So do you know if it was post production 3D or was it filmed in 3D?
I don't know. I just found out about it yesterday, so I don't know. I want to look into it because if it's 2D 3D conversion, it's going to even suck more.
Right, that would be an opportunity for it to suck even more.
Well, 3D Movie Man and I, in conjunction with Zombie Popcorn, we have official boycott going where we won't support 2D 3D movies because they're horrible. The only good 2D 3D movie that was ever created in recent times was Piranha 3D, and the 3D still wasn't that good. It was just a good movie. But like The Last Airbender 2D 3D conversion sucked. Clash of the Titans sucked.
That movie sucked.
Good. And they're coming out with a sequel.
I know.
But they're actually doing it.
Doesn't mean the movie was any good.
Yeah. But they're actually going to do this one in 3D because the other one was.
How about Alice in Wonderland?
Alice in Wonderland was a 2D 3D conversion.
What did you think?
It was all right. It was good. It was entertaining. I wish it. The whole time I was there, I was like, I wish this was done in 3D. It could have been so much better in 3D.
It's not that it was bad, but come on, it was Alice in Wonderland, and by the time the movie was over, I was like, oh look, it's Alice in Land. Not that wonderful.
No.
And you're right. That crappy post production 3D that wasn't helping.
That was the example. And I'm so glad that Hollywood is finally catching on that the viewers do not like it and it doesn't work and it kills their movies and that they're not doing the 2D 3D as much anymore.
So did you like you mentioned Avatar, right? Yeah. I love the 3D in Avatar. I thought that was so great when they show those floating mountains.
Oh yeah.
Right? I felt like I could move my head and look around to see what was on the other side of that.
Yeah.
I mean that was really, really cool. And Up was the same way too.
Up was
right?
Awesome.
Because, like in the early 3D age, it was stuff coming out of the screen to make you duck and to make you move. But Avatar and Up really took that 3D technology and had it add like depth and texture to the picture, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But Alice in Wonderland, that was a flat something in front of another flat something in front of another flat. I thought it was
like paper dolls.
Remember the old 3D Viewmasters?
Oh, the Viewmasters, yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it totally did. But the old 3D movies, like Vincent Price's House of Wax was originally done in 3D. It has the stuff in your face, but it also has the depth to it. It's done really well.
But I'll be honest, I've never seen that movie in 3D. I mean, I've seen the movie, but I haven't seen it in a 3D format.
Well, we're going to have to change that.
I can't wait.
Yeah. We're going to have a 3D converting party. But yeah. No, I think it's great. What do you think of the 3D in Tron? Which was
great.
Which was fantastic. Opposite from your face. It gave you depth of the world.
Right. That was right. At no time did I feel like I had to duck out of the way of something in Tron. It was the 3D made that world seem textured and rich. And I also thought it really worked in that movie where the real world was in 2D and the game grid was in 3D.
Yeah.
That really brought home the difference.
Especially when he entered the grid, it was awesome and everything just kind of came out you and it sealed the deal that this is something new. This is it was great. I loved it because it gave that world, it made that world feel real and perfect, and just why haven't we created this world already? But the 3D on that was awesome.
It'll be soon.
Yeah. We're working on it right now.
Yeah, well, Watson's just won Jeopardy, right? So our robot overlords are on their way.
Yes. What do you think? Did you see Afterlife Resident Evil?
Yeah, I saw that. You know what? I thought that movie was funny because I liked the Resident Evil franchise. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect movie by far. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's there's a lot to criticize about it. But the movie gets bogged down by making Mia Jovovich's Alice character. She's like, I don't know. She gets like superpowers. She's, all this stuff. And so then, like, the first half of the movie, they do damage control to fix all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next half of the movie, then they get to the story they want to tell. I mean,
but visually, it was great.
Oh yeah, I mean, the 3D works.
What's funny is Miley loves
And it did
Prison
like
Break.
the big guy with the hammer.
Oh, that was
the gate. That was a cool.
that
scene.
was awesome. Miley loves the TV series Prison Break, and to have the guy that played the main actor in that in prison saying, "I know," pretty much saying the same line was kind of awesome. But yeah, did you ever see the original Tim Burton film Frankenweenie?
Yes. It's I have it at home.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you haven't seen it, we have.
I have trouble watching it though, man.
Yeah.
I'm a dog lover, and I just that the whole idea of,
Yeah.
I mean, I get the movie, I get it. And then it becomes kind of like a, when he makes the Frankenstein dog, it's cute, but there's a part of me that's like, oh God, man, if he has my dog, I'm gonna be a wreck.
Yeah. Well, you get to be a wreck again because he's remaking it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in 3D, but it's stop motion animation, and it's still.
That would be cute.
Yeah, and it's going to be in black and white. He's going to keep it in the original black and white format.
Is it going to be a feature film or a short?
It's going to be a featured film. So far, it's slated to come out October 5th, 2011. It's going to be a full feature, black and white 3D film based on the same, it's the same concept of the original, except for the stop animation. And I'm excited about it because I do like Tim Burton films, even though I haven't seen them all.
Oh man, I saw something that Tim Burton was involved in. Incredible.
What was it?
There was something that Tim Burton was involved in. I just can't remember it right now because I've been drinking.
Damn that beer!
I know, right? But it's so good.
May I have another?
Absolutely, sir.
This episode brought to you by.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was promised scotch.
You want some scotch? We have it. I didn't know if you wanted to mix, or I would have already brought it out.
Yeah. Usually beer is just fine.
But yeah.
What is that Tim Burton project? And it really sounded great. It wasn't Frankenweenie. It was something else. Maybe he's producing. Oh man. As far as like upcoming movies go, there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah. Speaking of being excited, 3D Movie Man brings up next Friday, Drive Angry 3D comes out. Which, I don't know if you're familiar. We rag on Nicolas Cage all the time on this show. Because we think he's a horrible actor. Miley loves Nicolas Cage. But we're always, we think he sucks. But we think this movie is going to be awesome. Have you seen any of the trailers for it?
I have seen the trailer for it, and there's part of me that I could watch Nicolas Cage read the phone book.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes he's so good, and then other times he's so awful, but he's like so awful in an epic way, I guess. He's bad, and he's just really bad.
He's way bad.
Did you like my favorite Nick Cage movies? Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It is Nicolas Cage unhinged.
Really?
He plays a. It's not a remake or a sequel to the Harvey Keitel Bad Lieutenant. It's just which is good. Yeah, it's just sort of thematically linked, and the producers had the rights to the Harvey Keitel version, and so they were just trading on the notoriety of that name. And it's directed by Werner Herzog. And Nicolas Cage is just absolutely off the leash. He plays a wildly corrupt cop in New Orleans. His partner is a fat Val Kilmer, and he just goes around like he busts a couple at a club just so he can take their cocaine, and he's like. I don't know. But at the same time, he's like diligently pursuing a murder investigation. And it's just Nicolas Cage just unhinged.
But is he good in it?
Oh, he's great. But he's like I don't know. He's great and horrible. He's great in his horribleness. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
No, I think that would do it. I mean, because I think I understand. Because what's the ambulance driver film? I never can remember the name of it.
Bringing Out the Dead.
I enjoyed that. I thought he was really well and did really well in that film. I think it played well to his character.
Yeah, I don't like it when he plays the soft, sensitive guy.
Kind of like Valley Girl.
Buying it.
You didn't like him in Valley Girl?
No, yeah, Valley Girl. Yeah, he wasn't even Nicolas Cage then, right? Was he Nicolas Cage then, or was he still Nicolas Coppola?
I don't know.
Nicolas Cage.
Was he?
I think so.
He's always Nicolas Cage. But yeah.
Do you know what his first film role was? His first appearance on screen?
I don't.
He was one of Judge Reinhold's friends in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And he was and in that one I know he was credited as Nicolas Coppola.
Yeah. Interesting.
He's on screen for all of 5 seconds standing there with a dopey look on his face, but
well, that's what he does. Speaking of dopey looks and just standing there bad acting, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
He's coming back with Bill and Ted 3.
Oh, that's a mistake.
They both actors. Why can't I ever remember that dude's name?
Right, it's Bill and Ted. Right, Keanu Reeves and the other guy.
And we had this conversation last time. Nobody can ever. That's the story of that dude's life. But they both wanted to do it, so they've been given the green light to do Bill and Ted 3.
Oh, man, that is just raping my childhood.
It's funny because last week we found out that Paul he loved that movie. He knows every aspect about that movie, and more than anybody I've ever met in my life knows more about it. He can quote pretty much the entire movie.
I love them too. I think I mean the second one not so much. I mean I think it's funny that they're trading on so the gag where they don't play chess with death, they play Battleship and what else, the football game and Twister, and I mean that's funny. Come on, because it's like it's the seventh seal.
Yeah,
that was great. That was brilliant. But I don't know.
I don't either.
Is a third movie even necessary? Why would Keanu Reeves do that?
But I mean, why would they come back? What would be? I don't, because there's no word about it, about what the plot would be. But why would they have to come back?
I don't know. I thought they made the world a better
That's
place.
What I'm saying.
Wild stallions.
Woo. Well, now that metal is no longer the end thing, they probably are doing some other style of genre of music.
And it won't have George Carlin.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, maybe it will have George Carlin. Maybe they do what they did with Jeff Bridges in Tron.
Yeah.
Bring back the young. That too. I mean, movies have done it before. It's not uncommon.
Did you know that the original title for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was supposed to be called Bill and Ted Go to Hell?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was too controversial. The producers didn't want to. They didn't think America would go for it.
Because America doesn't go for much.
and their reasoning, what I read at the time, was that they said, "Oh, we changed the title because, calling it Bill and Ted Go to Hell would be like calling the first movie Bill and Ted Go to the Super K," which I thought would be a great title too.
Which would have been a good title because that would have fit nicely. I mean, if they can do Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes, they can do. They can do.
Do not disparage the genius of the Ernest movies.
Are you a fan?
I'm a fan of that actor. I think he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
And come on, man, he parlayed a character that he did for commercials for ice cream and milkshakes into a film career. Man.
Hey, Vern. You know what I mean, Vern?
The other guy from Bill and Ted is Alex Winter.
Thank you. That's it. Yes, which he's also in The Lost Boys. Which even in that movie, they're like the guy with the curly hair.
The
guy with a perm.
It looks like he did like Lost Boys, and then that's it.
Really? So he's really wanting.
Yeah. He really needs something.
He's
looking for work.
He's like, Keanu, please, let's do number 3. Come on.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Matrix movies?
Oh man, I thought the first Matrix movie was so good, and then they turned to crap.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
I just, I don't know. I think it was a high-minded concept that failed in execution.
Yeah.
Another funny story. My brother was working in Baltimore City, and he was tending bar at this Italian restaurant while they were filming, I think, The Replacements, or what's the Keanu Reeves movie where he's a Little League baseball coach? Hardball? I don't know. So anyway, Keanu Reeves was in Baltimore City, and my brother ran into him a couple times at the restaurant that he worked at and the gym he used to go to, and he didn't have nice things to say. And he does a really great Keanu Reeves impression.
Oh, really? We should just have him call into the show.
Yeah, I know, right? Richard, call up, man. Do your Keanu Reeves impression.
Whoa.
Well, when he said that Keanu Reeves, like when he talked, it sounded like he was asking you a question every time. And like he said, like he would order a drink and go, "Can I get a white wine spritzer?" Yes, you can. Here it is.
There it is. That's funny. No, I don't understand. The only good character he's ever played was from Bill and Ted. I don't think I've ever seen, even in The Devil's Advocate.
He's always the same character.
I know, and The Devil's Advocate could have been
in his entire career, in Keanu Reeves' entire career, his best line ever was when he went, "Whoa."
Yeah, true.
That sums his whole career up.
And everybody knows that. And
I really like the Matrix movies, man. I mean, the first one, great. Second, third, not so much. It loses steam, but I don't hate.
Yeah. I mean, they're good for what they are. So,
I guess Alex Winter's sitting at home going, "God damn it, Keanu. I really need this."
I wonder why he didn't do anything. I wonder why he just dropped off the radar.
I don't know.
I guess you'll never know. Where are you, VH1? Why can't you answer this for us?
Yeah. It looks like he did some TV stuff, music videos.
Like he was an extra in a music video?
Yeah. Or he directed music. He's a director now.
Then there's his money.
He is he directs music videos. And he did some TV work. And Lost Boys, Bill and Ted. Man, after Bill and Ted, that's pretty much it.
Wow. What year did Bill and Ted come out?
Bogus Journey was 91.
Wow. That's a long time. He's got to be doing something else.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Oh, well, they're going to do part 3, so we'll have him back.
I just cannot wait.
We should all have just a party and go see it. Just get a bunch of people together. Sadly, when I say a bunch of people, I only know like one or two other people.
Your bunch of people is 3.
Yeah, and that's pushing the limit. But there is a new movie coming out, and it's a part of a series. It's actually film number 18 of the series, and it's Apollo. No, I'm just kidding. There's a new movie called Apollo 18 that's coming out, which the trailer has been around for a bit, and I've refused to watch it just because it didn't sound interesting to me. It didn't for whatever reason, the things that I've seen, the posters and the other blogs I've written about it, it's just not sparked me to watch the trailer. But I finally watched it the other day, and oh my God, it's awesome. The premise of the movie is that we've gone to the moon before.
Well, there were 17 Apollo missions.
Yeah, and this is one that they didn't talk about because it got lost. And this is why the tagline for the movie is "This is why we haven't returned to the moon." It's, I guess, the official status. It says officially Apollo 17 launched December 17th, 1972, and was the last manned mission to the moon. But a year later, in December of 1973, 2 American astronauts were sent on a secret mission to the moon funded by the U.S. Department of Defense. What you're about to see is actual footage which the astronauts captured on the mission. While NASA denies the videos, others say that it's the real reason why we've never gone back to the moon. So I'm going to play the trailer real quick, and then we can talk about it.
This is Houston. You're looking good.
Time checker on the horn. Yes, you are. Clear.
We're going for the moon. Loud and clear. Take her down.
Here we go, Ben. You ready?
I sure am. Been waiting a long time for this.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Only 12 guys have seen this view.
Day 1, DOD mission report.
I gotta document this. Nate says he never snores in his sleep. Now I got proof.
Houston, how does the motion sensor work?
Yeah?
Yeah. We've been experiencing unexplained malfunctions. Look at this. Flag's gone.
Tracks. They aren't ours. They lead away from our site. Mike, you're picking up interference. I've never heard anything like it.
Restoring communication needs to be priority 1. Without that, we're not going home.
What the hell is going on?
Looks like the hull's insulation is damaged. Something's moving. Something's inside my suit. Nate!
What happened out there? Infection is spreading.
Stop! Nate, you'll kill us both!
This is Apollo 18. Do you copy?
Oxygen's getting low.
Anyone, please!
Something else out here. Open the hatch.
Oh, God!
Apollo 18. 4/22/11. That's when it's supposed to come out. I think this movie looks awesome. And you looked up while we were at watching the trailer about who produced this film.
Yeah, so right, it's directed by a guy I've never heard of, Gonzalo Lopez Gallego. So anyway, I never heard of the guy. That doesn't matter. But more importantly, it's produced by Timur Bekmambetov. And if you don't recognize his name, he is the director of the Russian horror movies Night Watch and Day Watch,
Which are awesome films.
Yeah, they are really, really good. And the American film Wanted, which, you know, I get that they diverged from source material. I don't have a problem with that. It was still a badass film.
Yeah. So this has got to be good.
Yeah, I know, right? Right, that's good news.
Yeah. I mean, I was blown away by the trailer. It has. I'm not a big fan of the new, you know, because in the horror genre, we went through the phase of the shaky cam and the flashes and the, you know, all that. And now we're at the level of horror of the film of where it's found footage, you know, like, in the same vein as Blair Witch Project. You know, we found this footage. This happened. This is, you know, this, and Apollo 18 is that same idea. And I've never been that much of a fan of it because I've not seen a movie that's really gripped me enough to be like, oh, okay, this is cool. I mean, because Texas Chainsaw Massacre apparently was, you know, like that. But
did you like Blair Witch?
I did not.
No. Fair enough. I thought Blair Witch was a really great idea that rode on a very clever marketing scheme, and it was just an okay movie. And I understand the problems that people had with the shaky cam found footage, and I remember watching the movie thinking to myself, like, you know, all of these things are going on around you, and all you can think to do is videotape yourself. Yeah. I don't know. I don't quite understand that mentality, but okay, I went with it, and it was, whatever. But did you see the Spanish film Quarantine?
I'm giving out free DVDs of it.
Awesome.
Yes, I have it around here somewhere.
That is a great movie. And what was great about Quarantine is that well, the Spanish film was Wreck. The U.S. version was Quarantine.
Yeah.
So anyway, and they're very similar. But what was brilliant about that was they're a news crew. The guy has a camera, so he has an excuse to have a camera, and he's good at it. He knows how to use a camera, so it doesn't have to be all shaky and
which is it's a great film, and it's very well done.
Yeah, Quarantine's fantastic.
Yeah.
How we left Doug Jones in it for like all of 5 seconds, but man, that was worth it.
Yeah. But no, it's a great film. That's why we were giving it out when we did the free T-shirt a day contest. Is I was doing bonus prizes, and then one of the bonus prizes for 3 of the shirts were the film Quarantine, and I have one DVD that I haven't given away yet, but will soon in the future.
Yeah, for people that complain about when people complain about the found footage films and they say like, oh, it's so shaky, I get motion sickness from watching it. I always recommend watching Quarantine because it's found footage, but it doesn't have that shaky cam. The guy's just running around screaming. Yeah. Did you like Cloverfield?
I haven't seen it. I've heard so many bad things from people that I respect their opinions on films that I'm going to wait until it's just a dead night for me and then there's nothing else to watch.
It's not a great movie. Yeah. I liked it a lot. It's not a great movie, but what is interesting about it, and I think this is the part that people missed about Cloverfield, was that it's the trick to watching Cloverfield is not to pay attention so much to what's going on with the characters in front of you. You have to watch the things that are happening behind them, because it's like this found footage of these people, and then behind them in the background a regular horror movie is going on.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat. And I kind of like the idea in Apollo 18 that it's the astronauts filming, because when those guys went into space, they were instructed to film everything.
Yeah, and I think that's why this Apollo 18 will totally work. And what's creepy right now is what's going behind the scenes. You're a fucking vampire right now.
I'm a vampire right now.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's the microphone that you're talking into. But
oh, nice.
Where the hell are you?
I don't know.
That's awesome. But anyway,
I don't know where I went.
You just lost your soul, man.
Cool.
What do you put in this?
I know, right?
No, but I think Apollo 18 will totally work with it because of that, because there is an excuse for it, and it looks creepy as shit.
Yeah, it looks really good, and seeing once again, his name is Timur Bekmambetov. Seeing him involved, that's only good news.
Yeah. Because I love the special effects and the graphics in Night Watch and Day Watch.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the third part of the series?
I heard that it was going to be produced in America. I heard it was going to be English language, and it was going to be starring Brad Pitt.
Man, everything is Brad Pitt. Everything is Brad Pitt.
I didn't really know it was Brad Pitt. I just say that because everything is, he shows up everywhere.
Yeah. No, it totally sucks, Brad Pitt. Because World War Z, they're even saying that Brad Pitt's going to pay.
God damn it, Brad Pitt.
He better not be in there. Because there was a movie we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember what it was, but Tom Cruise. Oh, no, it was the Del Toro Cameron film, the H.P. Lovecraft. Tom Cruise gonna be the key actor in that. And I'm sorry, but I don't agree with this. I don't want it to happen.
Tom Cruise is one of those guys, like, every time he is on television or somebody puts a camera and a microphone in his face, every time he opens up his mouth, I just want to punch him. But I have to admit, he's a talented guy. He has box office appeal.
Yeah, but that still does not justify having him in an H.P. Lovecraft story done by Del Toro and Cameron.
Well, do you remember when he was cast in the Anne Rice movie, Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah, see, that's everybody.
At the time, I was like, "Oh, that's the worst decision ever." And then he does a really good job with it. He really understood the role.
And that's the argument that I hear a lot, but I still don't care. I mean,
okay.
And
fair enough. I know he's kind of a douche. I hate him, but I was.
It's not that I hate him. It's just every time I see him, I think Top Gun or Mission Impossible, which both films. Top Gun is only good because I saw it when I was a kid, and I was in the Silver Air Patrol when I saw it, so it had some relevance to my life.
You like the homoerotic aspect.
That and that I was butt fucking my best friend at the time, and so Tom.
You're into it, man.
Goose. It's just. No, but yeah, I really don't want him in an H.P. Lovecraft story. I don't care how good he would be. I don't want him in there. I want original characters. I want people that I don't know.
Well, that's any movie, man. Like there's most people that I think that they, as far as acting go, that deliver the best performances are unknowns.
Yeah.
Bring out that guy that's unknown, because it's not like he has a reputation. It's not like he I don't know.
What? I mean, I totally agree with.
They're going to do the best job possible because this is their one shot, man. They're going to knock it out of the park.
Especially if they pit him up against somebody who's legendary.
Yeah.
And
come on, True Grit.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things.
Girl, Haley Steinfeld was great.
Yeah.
And she's next to, that was really good. She was great. I mean, Bridges and her were great together.
I gotta see it. I've heard a lot of good things about this film.
She's my dark horse contender for Best Supporting Actress.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I may have to go see it, or might see it soon.
Yeah, everybody's saying that it's going to be, what's her name from The Fighter? Crap. Jessica Leo?
Oh, yeah. Is that right?
Yeah. Not Amy Adams, but the woman that plays the mom. She's the favorite to win Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
And I think Haley Steinfeld is a Melissa Leo. The girl from True Grit, she's the dark horse, man. I think she could do it.
You think she could do it?
Yeah.
I gotta
she's nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but in the movie, she's the lead.
Yeah.
So that works in her favor, and in many instances, the award for Best Supporting Actress has gone to either a young person or a relatively newcomer to the Hollywood scene. Like, for instance, Marissa Tomei won for My Cousin Vinny,
yeah.
And then there was another young kid that won. Was it crap? This is me being prepared.
No, that's good. That's fine. But what you're saying is that she did a great job in True Grit, and
she's phenomenal.
Yeah. I would definitely check it out. Didn't you say one of your coworkers saw it just recently, Marley? What? Didn't you say something? One of your coworkers saw True Grit recently? Yeah, it was good, but they didn't like it. They killed the horse. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that happen in that movie that.
We just have to wait and see. So anyway.
But you haven't seen it yet, have you, Miley?
No.
That's kind of the point of the movie. Is I don't want to give it away, but that's the title, right? It's True Grit. She hires Bridges, this marshal, to go out with her and bring this man to justice. And come on, everybody's seen the movie from what is it, 1969?
Yeah.
John Wayne.
Yeah.
But he, in order to save this girl's life, he rides a horse to death. And it was this beloved horse, it was like her favorite horse, and and she loved it. And anybody else would have not done it, but not Rooster Cogburn, because he had true grit. He was capable of making those hard, unpleasant decisions, and that was kind of the point of the movie. And
yeah, hence the title.
Yeah.
We'll definitely check it out because it's good.
It's very good. It's well done. And Bridges is great. Is Cogburn. He's really good.
Yeah, because I used to watch those films with my dad when I was a kid. True Grit was one. Of course, Good, Bad, and Ugly, and just those old type films like that, which was good. Real quick, we're running short on time here, but I want to give a plug. Next Saturday on February 26th, we are going to be interviewing the writer of the book, The Zombie Code, The Keys to Unlocking Your Undead Destiny. He's going to be on the show. We're going to have a contest, if you want to check it out. We're going to have a contest that following Monday after he's on the show. We're going to give away at least 3 of his books. So stay tuned for that. We'll definitely do that. He'll be on the show next Saturday, February 26th, talking about his book and talking about his love for zombies and why he decided to do this book. So everybody tune in for that. So that's The Zombie Code, The Keys to Unlocking Your Undead Destiny. Check it out. I want to go back to comic books real quick. What do you think of the game Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
I haven't played it. I haven't even seen a trailer. I'm kind of in a vacuum on this one.
Yeah. Have you ever played any of them? Are you?
Yes. I played the cabinet games. Was Marvel vs. Capcom, and I thought it was just like any other fight game, which I'm not good at. I suck at those, and I don't like to play them because usually I have a friend that's really, really good, and I just wind up being his punching bag.
Well, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is pretty much no different from the other 1 and 2 because it's your straight across fighting game, but the dynamic is amazing. I'm going to play the trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom 3 so you can see how awesome it looks and how crazy it is. This trailer was debuted at CES 2011, so check it out.
I wish this wasn't you, Logan.
Doesn't have to be like this.
Live and let die.
Right. Get my back. Air power. Unacceptable.
Absorption. Healing spear.
Level 2.
Shut. Whirlwind. 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 Whirlwind.
Air combo.
Whirlwind. Whirlwind. Fine. Lightning spear. Shut. Teleport. Teleport. I'm at full power. Phoenix Inferno.
Cool.
Cool attack. Try this.
Cover it.
Danger.
Coming in.
Wonderful. Air combo. Yes. Danger.
Not bad.
Yes.
Hadouken!
Advancing guard.
Pile driver! Over it!
Advancing guard.
Absorption. Healing spear.
Air combo.
What I love about these games, but it's just the pure insanity of it. It's just, there's so much crap going on, and you have multiple characters flying into the screen, you know, to help you. It's insane. Yeah.
I think that was bad. Could be much worse.
But yeah, it looks awesome. We were watching kids play it at Best Buy the other day, and you know, it was like it brought back a lot of memories for me when I was a kid, and we used to skip class and go to 7-Eleven and play Street Fighter and, you know, Altered Beast and all that. Of how we would all just be in a semicircle around the arcade device and just screaming, just like, what the fuck, you know, just having a great time. And that's what these kids were doing at Best Buy, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Some things just never change.
I mean, that fighting game formula, there's something to it, man. You can't beat that.
Yeah. It's fun. When Miley and I first started hanging out, dating and stuff, we bought Godzilla Destroys the World, where you can just play, you know, all the Godzilla creatures and fight each other and just pick up buildings and slam it. What's that?
And destroy the world.
Yeah, it was awesome. We played hours and hours of that. And Soul Calibur's her favorite fighting game, and we used to play the shit out of that too. I mean, they're fun. They're just like, there's just that element about them that's just, I guess, because
good old fashioned button mashing.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's more fun when you're playing against your friend. I guess that's the draw to it, is because you're just like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
But it's good. Do you like the singer Tiffany?
I have fond memories of Tiffany in middle school.
Yeah.
School. I think we're alone now.
That's good. That's good. Keep singing.
She got famous for singing a Beatles cover.
What? Isn't that the way it works?
In a mall.
Many malls. But there is a documentary that is coming out, or is out. It's actually doing the film festival circuit, called I Think We're Alone Now. A featured documentary. And it's disturbing, but it's also one of those films that you watch. You begin watching because you're like, oh my god, these people are fucked up, and then you realize that this is why you learn more about their lives, and it's just kind of an eye-opening story. But here's the press text to the film. It says, every celebrity deals with his or her share of obsessed fans. I Think We're Alone Now is a documentary that focuses on two individuals, Jeff and Kelly, who claim to be in love with the 80s pop singer Tiffany. Jeff Turner, a 50-year-old man from Santa Cruz, California, has attended Tiffany concerts since 1988. Diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, he's never had a girlfriend, and Jeff spends his day hanging out in the streets of Santa Cruz, striking up conversations with anyone who has a moment to spare. Kelly McCormick is a 35-year-old intersex person from Denver, Colorado, who claims to have been friends with Tiffany as a teenager. She credits Tiffany as the shining star who has motivated her to do everything in her life. Both Jeff and Kelly have been labeled stalkers by the media and other Tiffany fans. This film takes you inside the lonely lives of these two characters, revealing the source for their clinging obsessions. This age-old stories of love takes a comedic and emotional trip through themes of depression, isolation, and hope. And in the end shows that having something or someone to believe in can be more powerful than anything reality has to offer. So I'm going to take a moment to play this trailer.
Tiffany and I have known each other most of her life, and we are in love with each other, and she's a great singer.
The difference between me and a stalker is they don't truly love the individual.
As a 16-year-old, she was forced to get a restraining order against Jeff Dean Turner. They have my whole name in there.
I am concerned about John. I think he might need to seek some counseling.
I might ask for a fingernail or a toenail, a lock of hair, or a scab, or a skin from a blister or something. I could ask for that.
I suffer from what's known as being born intersex. I mean, yes, I go through a monthly period and PMS and period just like every biological woman does, including Tiffany.
A lot of people think Jeff Turner is a crazed stalker, a madman, but I know him very well, and there's a different side of this story.
What people don't know about Tiffany could fill many documentaries and many books.
He is kind-hearted. He is considerate. If he ever meets a person, he is your best friend for life.
I've been in love, but I have never had the same amount of love returned back to me, which is very depressing and it hurts like hell.
It's easy to have romance. It's just the young lady or the lady saying yes. That's yeah.
Guess I've been waiting for almost 14 years for this. I'm not going to slow down now. I know Jeff says that Tiffany means a lot to him too, but bottom line is, I think I've got him outmatched easy.
This documentary gets seen, it'll blow the lid off everything and change everyone for the better.
That's I Think We're Alone Now, the feature documentary. If you want to see the website, it's ithinkwe'realonenow.com. All one word, nothing else. So, I think that's our show. And I want to thank Bob so much for...
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
You're totally welcome. You're totally welcome to come on anytime. Any Saturday you want to come on, just you know where we're at.
I'll let you know.
You're totally welcome. And as always, keep an eye out. We have a couple contests coming up. Tonight I'm reducing the prices to the t-shirts. We have definitely 3 books that we're giving away starting on the 28th. We have the interview with Mark, the writer of the Zombie Code, The Keys to Unlocking the Undead Destiny. Next Saturday, February 26th. And also very important, Monday, Paul is performing a live concert at the ERE Center. You can go to our Facebook page to find out more information about that. For everything else, go to zombiepopcorn.com. Thank you so much for listening. It's been great having you, and we'll see you next Saturday.